This is Story Recapped. Today, I'm going to explain a comedy adventure film called Year One. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. A group of hunters chase after a boar, and just as the leader, Marlak, prepares to strike, someone throws a spear into his comrade's shoulder. From the bushes, Zed comes out, proud as he thinks he caught the boar. When Marlak points out his mistake, Zed apologizes, though he mutters that they blocked his shot, so the hunters grab him. Back at their village, a gatherer named O picks strawberries. When the hunters arrive, Marlak tosses his fruit basket, spilling all his harvest. Zed meets with his friend and assures him that he'll defend him from the hunters next time. Zed notices a beautiful gatherer named Maya and tries to ask her out on a date. However, Maya wants a man who can protect her. Later, Marlak offers Maya a boar's head, and Zed is jealous. On the other hand, O tries to greet Ima, who just ignores him. Zed questions why O is attracted to her, but O points out that Zed thinks like that because Ima is his sister. Just then, one of the villagers defecates behind Zed's hut, infuriating him. Fed up with the village disrespecting him, Zed takes O out to the woods. He goes on a tirade until they reach the tree bearing the forbidden fruit. Zed insists on eating the fruit, questioning why it's forbidden. O, however, warns him not to do it. He tells Zed that eating the fruit won't change his life, but Zed still takes a bite. Immediately, he claims to know everything, so O asks him about the sun and life. However, Zed can't answer. Suddenly, O realizes that there's a snake around his feet. Zed starts suggesting what to do, but all his suggestions are useless. The snake starts wrapping around O's neck, and Zed decides to eat more fruit. That night, while the villagers dance, Zed and O are sitting by the sidelines. Zed still claims the fruit made him smarter, so he starts questioning things about life. Still, O is fixated on Ima, so Zed encourages him to dance for her. O reluctantly does so, and he successfully gets Ima's attention. Zed urges him to club her in the head to bring her to his tent, but O hits her weakly, so Ima hits him back. Suddenly, Marlak confronts Zed as someone saw him eating the forbidden fruit. O tries to defend him, but when Marlak threatens his life, he pretends to see a shooting star and walks away. Because of his crimes, the villagers exile Zed. Unwilling to accept defeat, he claims to choose to leave because there's more life out there. He encourages O to join him, but O ignores him, so Zed claims that having a partner will just slow him down. As he tries to leave, he accidentally lights a tent on fire, so the hunters chase him away. Zed runs to the woods, but he slips down a slope. Marlak finds him, and before he strikes, O knocks Marlak out. As the two journey, O laments that he'll never see Ima again. Zed asserts that O is too good for the village, pointing out how he was the only one who came up with drinking water from a gourd. A cougar roars from a tree before them, so O and Zed freeze, hoping it won't notice them. Suddenly, Zed bolts away and the cougar jumps on O. The following day, O is still mad at Zed for letting the cougar scratch him. Soon, they discover land beyond the mountains despite the belief that the world ends there. This boosts Zed's confidence that the fruit made him smarter. They soon discover a herd of cattle, so Zed lunges at one, but the cow simply kicks him off and brothers Cain and Abel confront them. O and Zed introduce themselves, but when the brothers reciprocate, Cain starts insulting Abel's loyalty to God. The argument leads to shoving, and Cain throws the first punch. The brothers brawl until Cain bashes a rock on Abel's head. Stunned, Cain plays it off as Abel fooling around, but no one is convinced. Suddenly, Abel wakes up, and Cain instinctively hits him with the rock repeatedly. Cain blames the other two, saying that they could have stopped him. He then asserts that it was an accident, and O and Zed weakly agree out of fear, so Cain invites the two for supper. To get to Cain's house, O and Zed ride on a cart for the first time. Being able to move without walking excites them. The ride, however, overwhelms them, and they throw up upon reaching the village. That evening, Cain's father, Adam, asks about Abel, but the trio claims that they haven't seen him. However, Cain's sister, Lilith, saw him and Abel heading to the field. Cain argues that Lilith is lying, then storms off when Adam doesn't believe him. Adam then invites Zed to lay with Lilith because she's unmarried, and their faith encourages them to multiply. That evening, Zed seduces Lilith, but she refuses because she likes women instead. The morning after, Adam heads out to the village to find Abel. Cain urges Zed and O to go to the coast with him, telling them that the villagers will blame them for Abel's murder. Soon, the villagers discover the body, so they quickly return to the village but find Cain, Zed, and O already escaping on the cart. When Cain taunts his father that God favors him now, a bolt of lightning hits him on the forehead, leaving a mark. Upon reaching the coast, they discover Marlak being sold off to slavery, along with Maya and Ima. Maya recounts how the Hill tribe raided the village and traded them to be sold. Zed believes that fate reunited them. The trader then demands money from them to take Maya and Ima, but they don't have money. Cain then offers to distract the traitor, and Zed assumes it's to let them escape. However, Cain merely sells them to the traitor. Zed, O, and the rest from their village are then transported across the desert. Suddenly, soldiers attack the traitors and free the villagers. Ima and Maya are captured, but when O and Zed try to save them, Marlak blocks their way. Marlak is also captured, leading only O and Zed to escape. The commander, Sargon, lets them leave, believing that the desert will kill them. The soldiers set up camp in preparation to transport their captives to Sodom. Meanwhile, O and Zed hide behind dunes, watching over the camp. They plot to rescue Maya and Ima when the soldiers are asleep, but they fall asleep as well. When they wake up, the camp is already gone, so they head to Sodom. Later, Abraham prepares a pyre and offers his son, Isaac, as a sacrifice, claiming that it's God's request, but O and Zed interrupt them. To convince him against killing his son, Zed announces that the Lord sent him, so Abraham invites them to the Hebrew camp. Later, Abraham and the Hebrews hold a feast in honor of Zed. Abraham asks if they came from Sodom and Gomorrah, which Zed denies. Abraham tells them of the atrocities in the twin cities, but Zed and O are tempted instead. He then warns them that God will smite all that live in Sodom. Abraham adds that God promised him all of the lands and help them defeat their enemies. To prove their loyalty, Abraham plans to snip the excess flesh of all the male's members, including Zed's and O's. Afraid, the two run away, but not before they hear Isaac screaming from Abraham's procedure. On the way to Sodom, Isaac catches up to them, claiming that he and his friends always sneak into Sodom during the weekends. When they reach the entrance, however, the doors are closed. Isaac assures them that the guards always let him in when he knocks, so he encourages them to do so. Suddenly, guards attack them from behind and Isaac abandons them. They're brought to Sargon, who ridicules O. Zed tries to defend his friend but quickly gets scared of the soldier. Sargon then takes a stick and orders the two to turn around. Suddenly, Cain arrives, revealing that he's now a soldier. With Cain vouching for them, the two are released. Cain gives them a tour, but Zed and O are still angry that he sold them. He assures them that he sees them now as his real brothers and stresses that he doesn't want to kill them. Cain then scares a vendor into giving them free food and invites them to be soldiers. The following day, Zed and O are lined up with the soldiers, however they're utterly clueless at their tasks. Meanwhile, in the temple, the king of Sodom laments that their land hasn't had rain despite the sacrifices they offer. The high priest reads entrails to predict their future, though he fumbles in his prediction, noting that he only became a high priest because he's the king's brother-in-law. The prime minister suggests hiring a new high priest, so the high priest tries casting a spell on him, but fails. On the streets, the residents and soldiers bow down as Princess Inanna is carried into the temple. Zed is enamored by her beauty and doesn't bow until another soldier punches him. As the crowd cheers for the royal family, Inanna refuses to eat because the people are starving. The high priest then chooses a maiden to sacrifice for the gods to give them rain and improve their harvest. The chosen maiden is then thrown into the fire while O and Zed look concerned. Later, a handmaiden announces that Inanna wants Zed to meet with her. He brings O along, but the handmaiden orders O to go with the eunuch instead. After Zed changes his attire, the handmaiden takes him to the feast. Finally, the handmaiden removes her veil, revealing her as Maya. Zed enthused that he came to rescue her, but she's not convinced since he seems more worried about his appearance for the princess earlier. Maya leaves him since she still has her duties. As Zed looks around, he notices the statues are real humans. One of them is O, who laments his condition. Zed shares that Maya was the handmaiden just as O spots Ima. Sargon grabs Ima, and she instinctively throws her tray at him in retaliation. Sargon moves to hit her, so Zed pretends to berate Ima, diffusing the situation. After moving away from Sargon, Ima insists that she'd rather die than continue serving. She and O scold Zed for enjoying their situation, but he defends that he's trying to discover new things because he's chosen. Maya then arrives to fetch Zed for the princess. Zed assures Maya that he's only seducing Inanna to save them, but she isn't convinced. When Zed and Maya leave, Ima goes to continue her duties, much to O's disappointment. O is then called by the high priest, who commands to rub oil on him. With no choice, O begrudgingly does as he's told. Finally, Maya leaves Zed in Inanna's room. Inanna invites him to view the twin cities of Sodom and Gomorrah with her. Zed shares that some believe God will wipe them out, so Inanna asks if he thinks she's evil, which Zed denies. Inanna notes that she found him interesting when he didn't bow to her, thinking he was courageous to question the order of things. Meanwhile, the high priest shares with O how he's devoted his life to the gods and the people. O sympathizes with him, appeasing the high priest. O then notices 2 closed doors, and the high priest claims that it's the holiest room in Sodom, where all who enter never make it out alive. Unfazed, O wonders if they can enter, making the high priest interested in him further. After they leave, Inanna and Zed arrive, and she dares him to enter the holiest room and tell her about it afterward. She says no one comes out alive, but he's been chosen, so he should speak to the gods and end the famine. Convinced, Zed opens the door but adds that she must let his friend free if he enters. Inanna promises to do so he goes inside. Unknown to them, Cain is eavesdropping. Zed enters the room and he immediately begs for his life. To his surprise, O appears as he's been hiding there from the high priest. He asks O how he entered without getting killed, but O doesn't know. Zed suggests that the gods spared O because he's Zed's follower. Offended, O asserts that Zed isn't his leader because he hasn't even been able to rescue them. To prove himself, Zed prays to the heavens and asks for help to save his friends, but O points out that nothing's in the room, so God may not even exist. Zed refuses to believe that everything that happened is not fate. The two spouts insults at each other until Zed stresses that he can get them free by appeasing the princess. Tired of arguing, O begrudgingly accepts. The two exit the room, but the guards of the high priest seize them. While in the dungeon, O rants about how Zed ruined his life. Zed admits that he's made mistakes, but he asserts that he's a chosen one. O yells that only Zed thinks he's chosen, yet Zed still swears to get them out. He tries tugging on his chains, but it's pointless. The next morning, Zed and O are brought to the temple. The king taunts Inanna, blaming her for leading the two to their deaths. While Cain announces their supposed crimes, including murdering Abel, Zed tries to apologize to O again, but he's too in despair to listen. Cain then sentences them to be stoned to death. However, Zed announces to the crowd that he didn't die upon entering the holiest room, so he asserts that the gods chose him. Due to this, the crowd demands to spare the two. Seeing this, the Prime Minister suggests sparing them to prevent the people from revolting. With this, the two are sentenced to hard labor until their deaths. Zed and O are soon forced to work, where they also see Marlak. Eventually, the laborers are called to watch the sacrifice. Inanna learns that the sacrifice will be Maya and Ima, but the king also announces to the people that, to prove their loyalty to the cause, he will also sacrifice his stepdaughter, Inanna. Inanna's mother tries to defend her, but the king threatens to sacrifice her, so she relents. Eventually, Inanna is prepared for sacrifice. She offers Maya and Ima a drink to dull their pain during the sacrifice. Zed and O soon spot Maya and Ima being taken outside and looking drunk. They attempt to get to them, but the guards hold them back. Marlak then throws the guard who's blocking Zed, allowing him to jump down. He ends up on a cart that wheels off a scaffolding. Zed drops on a pile of hay, and the scaffolding collapses, causing the crowd to disperse. O sees a chance and convinces the crowd that the disaster is a sign by the Chosen One, urging the crowd to revolt. With the people in an uproar, the Hebrews reveal themselves, ready to fight. The king thanks his soldiers for protecting him, but they merely turn their blades at him, ending his life. The high priest urges his guards to sacrifice the women, but Zed stands in his way. Meanwhile, O saves Ima, and finally he has a chance to talk to her. Maya is amazed how Zed fights off the guards and Ima kisses O, initiating their intimacy. Cain then faces Marlak, who easily defeats him, while Sargon confronts Zed and quickly knocks him down. O and Ima come out of hiding, announcing that they've consummated their relationship and therefore aren't viable as sacrifices anymore. Seeing Zed in trouble, O throws a stone at Sargon but hits Zed instead. O then blocks Sargon from striking Zed, distracting him long enough for Zed to slam him with a shield. Sargon is thrown into the crowd, who beat him up. The high priest moves to throw Maya into the fire, so O throws oil at him while Zed takes Maya away. The high priest then falls into the pyre and the crowd stops fighting upon the sight. With the battle done, Zed addresses the crowd as the Chosen One and ignites them into applause. Finally, rain falls and the crowd cheers. However, the rain stops seconds later. Zed tries to assure the crowd that it's the sign from the gods, and they all express their devotion to him. Zed is delighted by the attention, but when he looks back at his friends, he finally confesses that he's not a chosen one. He calls himself simply lucky to have his friends, so he encourages the rest to make their destinies. The rain pours again, bringing hope to the people. Days later, Zed meets with Inanna, who is now the queen. Inanna thanks him for his help and apologizes for nearly getting him killed. Meanwhile, O orders his fellow villagers, who are preparing to leave. When Isaac tries to flirt with Ima, O defends her. Maya then approaches Zed, wondering if he's still set to go to Egypt before kissing him. O and Zed meet up before they part ways. Zed intends to explore the world with Maya, while O will lead their group to their new home. After a few awkward goodbyes, the two begin their separate journeys.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.